When the yarn meets the hook, it becomes more than just a look. Every scarf, every bag, every warm embrace.
Hello, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is BRcrochet, and in today's tutorial we're going to be learning how to make this cute and beautiful romper with this pattern or design. So I have this in bralette. I have this design in bralette. I have it in skirts, and I also have it in shorts. So I don't know if this romper is going to come, if this romper tutorial is going to come before the shorts, or the shorts will come on before the come up before the romper. But I have this in 4 designs: the skirts, the shorts, the bralette, and now the romper. So I don't know if I'm going to have it in the dress, but for now this is all I have for this design. So if you're interested in learning how to make this design, please stay to the end of the video. And for the materials, you need your balls of yarn. You should look out for maybe 8 to 9 balls of yarn this for this romper. Then you need your scissors, measuring tape, and hook size of 4.0 mm hook. So this is all you'll be needing to make this romper here. I don't know if I'm still going to explore more on this design, but for now this is all I have. So now let's get right into class. But please like, share, subscribe, comment, share with your loved ones, and thank you for always watching my videos. So now let's get right to class. The first thing you need to do is take measurement of your chest area, where you want your top to begin from. So I want mine to begin from 8 inches. So I want this 8 inches to be covering my chest area. So I'm going to make a chain that is going to be up to 8 inches. And it should be in multiple of 4. So begin with a slip knot, then make a chain of multiple of 4 until 8 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 62. So chain of 32 is what I have to get 8 inches. So now I'm going to make extra chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go into the 5th chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the 5th chain, make a double crochet. Chain 1, then make a double crochet into the same stitch. So now this is it. So I have my first V stitch here. Yarn over, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, into the 4th stitch, going with your V stitch, which is 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the same stitch. So you should have this. Yarn over, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, into the 4th, going with 1 double crochet, chain 1, then 1 double crochet into the same stitch. Yarn over, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, into the 4th, going with 1 double crochet, chain 1, and that 1 double crochet into the same stitch. So now I'm left with 4 stitches. So into the 4th stitch, I'm just going to go in with 1 double crochet, which is equal to what I'm having here. So for the next row, I'm going to chain 3, turn, Into my V stitch, I'm going to go in with 5 double crochet. So into the first V stitch, going with 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into the next V stitch, going with another 5 double crochets. For this row, you're going to be making 5 double crochets into your V stitch, only into the V stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5. Next V stitch, going to have 5 double crochets again. So for this rule, all you'll be doing is place 5 double crochets into your V stitch. 3, 4, 5. Into your double crochet here, you're going to make 1 double crochet, place 1 double crochet into the third chain. So 1, 2, into the third chain, going with 1 double crochet. So this is it. For row 3, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Chain extra 1 to complete 4. Turn into the same stitch. You're going to go in with 1 double crochet. So 1 double crochet into the same stitch here. So this is our first increase. Then 1, 2, 3 into the third stitch. 1, 2, 3 into the third stitch, going with 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. This is it. Now from here, you're going to start counting 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 5th stitch, going with 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. So this is repetition of our first row. Yarn over, skip 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 5th stitch. So the 5th stitch is the middle stitch of our 5 double crochet. So you have 1 double crochet, chain 1, another 1 double crochet into the same stitch. So you're going to place your V stitch into your double crochets into the 5th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 5th stitch, going with your V stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 5th stitch, chain 1, 1 double. So into your chain 1 here, you're going to have your V stitch into it. So which means our chain 1 is closed and our increase is only going to happen on the first stitch and on the last stitch. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn into the first V stitch, going with 5 double crochets. So for this row again, you're going with 5 double crochets, which is repetition of the second row. 4, 5, including your chain 3. So you have 5 double crochets here. Into the next V stitch, another 5 double crochets. So you're going 5 double crochets for this row. So our increase is only going to happen when it's time for the V stitch. 4, 5. So the 4th row is done, and this is it. To begin the 5th row, you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 into the same stitch here. You're going to have your V stitch. Because we don't have the 1 double crochet again, so we're going to skip this and place our V stitch into this. One, chain one, another one double crochet. Then in the next 5 stitches, 1 2 3 4 5, going with your new V stitch, one double crochet, chain one double crochet. Repeat the same 1 2 3 4 into the 5th stitch. You have your next V stitch again, chain one, then another one double crochet. Skip 4 stitches, 1 2 3 4 into the 5th stitch. You have your V stitch, chain one. So continue until the end and we'll meet up. So to work on the last end here, you're going to count 1 2 3 4. So into the 4th stitch is where you're going to have your V stitch because of the last stitch here. Chain one, your V stitch. Then into the last stitch here, last stitch of your chain, you're going to go in with your V stitch, one double crochet, chain one double crochet. So this is it. It's going to keep increasing this way until you have a bust to bust measurement plus 1 inch, 1 or 2 inches. So you can able to stretch. So it's now increasing. Right now I'm having 10.5 inches. So the bust to bust measurement I'm working on is 20 inches. So I'm going to add extra 1 inch to it to complete 21 inches. So I'm going to continue this way until I get to 21 inches. So which is your bust to bust measurements plus either 2 or an inch. It depends on how you want it. But I'll be adding just 1 inch to mine, which is working on 20 inches, but adding 1 inch to it. So it's going to be repetition of the 4th row. So you're repeating these 2 rows until you get your dress. So going to have 5 stitches here or so. Going to chain 4 again, 1 2 3 4 into the same stitch, 1 double crochet, which is the first V stitch. Then skip this, work into this with the next V stitch. Now you can start counting 1 2 3 4 into the 5th stitch. You have your V stitch. This is what I'm having so far. And I have 16 rows here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, which is 16 in total. That's including the V stitch and the 5 double crochet. So which means we have 8 rows of increase, and right now I already have my 21 inches. So by now you should also have your bust to bust measurement plus 2 or 1 inch. So this is exactly 21 inches. So from this point we are going to stop increasing. So how to do that? I'm going to chain 4, 1 2 3 4, turn, 1 2 3 into the 3rd stitch, 1 2 3, going with your V stitch. So we're no longer increasing. Then go 1 2 3 4 5. So continue your V stitch into the 5 stitch, to the next 5 stitch. Into the next 5 stitch, you're going to have your into the next 5 stitches, you're going to have your V stitch. You can see it's now straight because we're no longer increasing. 1 2 3 4 5. Place your V stitch into every 5 double crochet. Into the last stitch, that's into your chain 3, we're going to have just one double crochet. So we're no longer increasing. We're going to continue going on a straight line until 13 inches. So right now I'm having, this is 9.25 inches, so I'm going to continue until 13 inches, which means I'm going to stop increasing until I get to 13 inches. 1 2 3, move into the V stitch. After your chain 3, go into the V stitch and continue with your 5 double crochets into the V stitch. This, your chain 3 does not count as a stitch, so into the V stitch you are placing exactly 5 stitches. That's 5 double crochets. Continue with 5 double crochets into every stitch until you get to the last stitch. So into this double crochet, I'm going to place just one double crochet into the second chain. So now this is done. We're no longer increasing, we're now working on a straight line. I'm going to chain 3. 1 2 3, turn, then make my V stitch into the 4th stitch. 1 2 3, into the 4th stitch. I'm going to have my V stitch, chain 1. So I'm going to continue this way for a total of 13 inches. That's the total of 13 inches. This is 10 inches, so I'm going to work 3 more inches and we'll meet up. This is 13 inches. So now this is 21 inches. So the waist measurement I'm working on, because you're going to be closing this up. So the waist measurement I'm working on is 27 inches. So I'm not going to be making a chain of 27 inches. Right now, this is 21 inches. So I'm going to make an extra chain. So I'm going to be making a chain of 24 inches. This is 21 inches. So I'm going to make a chain of extra 3 inches to complete 24 inches. So that's 3 inches away from the waist measurement. You can go ahead and work on 4 inches away from the original waist measurement. But I'm going to be working 3 inches away from the original measurement because the 5 double crochet is still going to stretch. So I'm going to be working on 24 inches. So make a chain of 12. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So all you need to do is minus 2 to 3 inches away from the original waist measurement. So I'm working on 27 inches as the waist measurement, and I'm going to be working on, I already have 21 inches, so I'm going to add 3 inches plus to get to 24 inches. So join. So this 12 chain of 12 is multiple of 4. So whatever chain you are making, make multiple of 4. So this chain 12 is multiple of 4. So now I already have my 24 inches. And this can stretch. It's going to really stretch. So the next thing to do is to now work on our V. Don't forget you're making a chain of multiple of 4. So you already have your chain 2, chain extra 2, 1 2 to complete chain of 4. Then into the same stitch, place 1 double crochet. Skip 3 stitches. 1 2 3 into the 4th, going with your V stitch, chain one, one double crochet, skip 3 stitches, 1 2 3 into the fourth, going with one double crochet, chain one double crochet. So this is it. Then you can continue to skip 4 stitches, 1 2 3 4. On the first one you skip 4 stitches to make one double crochet, chain one double crochet. Other stitches you're going to skip 4, and into the fifth one is where you have your V stitch, 1 2 3 4. Into the fifth stitch is where you have your V stitch. Skip 1 2 3 4. Into the fifth, place your V stitch. One, two, three, four. Into the fifth, place V stitch. So I'm left with 1 2 3. This is the fourth stitch. I'm going to place my slip stitch into the third chain. So 1 2 3. I'm going to place my slip stitch. Turn. Slip stitch into the V stitch. Then chain 3 and have 5 double crochet. So this is 1. Your chain 3 counts as the first double crochet. So 2 3 4 5. So into this row you place 5 double crochet into the V stitch. Three, 4 5. Place 5 double crochet round into the V stitch. I'm going to slip stitch here. Start increasing. So turn, chain 4 1 2 3 4 into the same spot, into the same stitch. You're going to make a double crochet. Then into the fifth stitch, into the fourth stitch, 1 2 3 4. Into the fourth stitch you're going to have your V stitch. We already have our V stitch here, which is the first increase. Count for 1 2 3 4 into the fifth stitch, going with your V stitch. Skip 4 1 2 3 4 into the fifth stitch again. You're going to work in your V stitch. So going to the fifth stitch with your V stitch until you're back to the last stitch, and we'll meet up. Reach this point and I'm going to place my V stitch into the fourth stitch. So 1 2 3 into the fourth stitch here, go in and have your V stitch. Then slip stitch into the third chain, 1 2. Into the third chain you're going to place a slip stitch. Then slip stitch into the V stitch, chain 3, then turn. So this row is for the 5 double crochet again. 3 4 5. So this is going to start increasing. 5 double crochet into all the V stitch again. After slip stitch, chain 4, turn into the same stitch, have 1 double crochet for the first V stitch. Then your V stitch into the third stitch, 1 2 3, which is the mid stitch. Have your V stitch. So you already have this. Then V stitch into the next 4 stitches, 5 stitches, 1 2 3 4 5. Into the fourth stitch, you're going to place your last V stitch. Then slip stitch into the third chain, 1 2 3. Slip stitch into the V stitch, chain 3, then continue with your 5 double crochet. So you're going to continue this until you have original hip measurements minus 5 to 5.5 inches. I'm working on 40 inches as the hip measurements. So now I'm going to continue until I have 35 inches. So that's 5 inches away from the original hip measurements. So you can go ahead and 5 inches away from the original hip measurements. This is going to continue increasing. This is going to continue increasing, and always remember to have your last or your first V stitch into the last slip stitch. So now I already have my hip measurements. That's 5 inches minus my original hip measurement. So which is this, to be 17.5 inches. Which is 17.5 inches. So now all we need to do is divide the crotch points. So before you divide the crotch points, make sure that you're having an even number of your number of 5 double crochet in your V stitch. That's your even number of V stitch. So you're going to chain 2, then cut off. Go into the stitch, then tie 2 times and cut. So now you need to fold to get the midpoint. Fold to get the midpoint. So for me, this is the midpoint. You're going to get your stitch marker. I do not have a stitch marker, so I'm just going to indicate with this. Then count if you have your number of stitches. So you're going to cut this and this 1, this and this 2, this and this 3, this and this 4, this and this 5, this and this 6, this and this 7, this and this 8, then this and this, that's 9. So you have even number here. You're going to calculate this too. So this and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 9. So which means I have 38 V stitch here. So I have a total of 30 V stitch here. So this is 9, and this also is 9. So I have 9 inches here and 9 inches here. So all I need to do now is to get the midpoint, which I already have. So now I'm going to divide the crotch area. So whatever chain you are making, make sure it's multiple of 4. So I'm going to make multiple of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Whatever chain you are making, make sure it's multiple of 4. So now I'm going to join together with the other parts. It's into the mid stitch. That's the third stitch. So henceforth, we are no longer increasing. So you're going to chain 3, chain 4 rather. Place your V stitch into the same stitch. So now you're going to go into your V stitch. You're going to repeat the same, or go in with your V stitch. So into the first stitch of your chain, you're going to have your V stitch. Now into the fourth stitch. So count 1, 2, 3. Into the fourth stitch, you're going to place your V stitch. Go into the next 4 stitches or fourth chain. 1, 2, 3. Into the fourth chain again, going with the V stitch. So into the fourth stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you're going to slip stitch. You're going to skip this 4 and slip stitch into the third chain. So 1, 2, 3 into the third chain of your previous V stitch. Then you connect. So now this is done. Slip stitch into your V stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So now you can turn and work your 5 double crochets into the V stitch. We've been increasing on these points. So now we're going to stop increasing for the tie. So I'm just going to slip stitch until I get to this point. So slip stitch here and slip stitch into the third stitch. So you're going to find your way into the third stitch. Then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to turn. Once you turn, then make a V stitch, which is another double crochet. Then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 5th stitch. You have your V stitch. So now you're going to continue your V stitch. One, two, three, four, 5. One, two, three, 4 into the 5th stitch. You have your V stitch. Then slip stitch into this, into the third chain. 1, 2. To the third chain, then you slip stitch. Slip stitch into your V stitch to continue with your 5 double crochet into the V stitch. And back to this point again, so slip stitch until you get to the middle stitch, which is this. Then chain 4 for the V stitch. So instead of having your first V stitch into this point, you slip stitch your way into the middle stitch, then place your V stitch and continue with your V stitch. So this is the 5th row. I'll be ending on the 6th row. So we'll meet up once I get to the 6th row. So now I'm done with the sixth row, which is 2, 4, 6. So to finish this up, I'm going to make one single crochet into the stitches. So one single crochet into the next. To make a single crochet, you go in directly, pull up. You have two loop, pull through the two to make single crochet. Then into the middle stitch here, you're going to skip it and move to the next. Go skip this, which is the middle stitch, move to the next. So into your 5 double crochets, you're going to place your single crochet into just 4 stitches and skip the 5th stitch. Skip this stitch, move to the next with one single crochet. I've gotten to the last end of my single crochet, so I'm going to slip stitch into the next, chain 2, then cut. Go into the stitch again, tie again, pick up a strand, tie it 2 times again, then cut. So this is it. Now you're going to work on this point. So you're going to be placing your V stitch where you have the V stitch. So this, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place your V stitch. That's your 1 double crochet to have your V stitch. Then the next V stitch is this. Place your V stitch where you already have your V stitch. So, which is also the 4th stitch. Next is where you have your V stitch also. Place your V stitch. Next is your V stitch. Place your V stitch. So you're going to place your V stitch where you already have your V stitch. And place your last V stitch where you also already have your V stitch. So this is it. So then you can now continue having your V stitch into your 5 double crochets. So now you're going to repeat this, which is also 6 rows, just like you have here, and end it with your single crochet round. So I'm done with the lower part of the romper. So now we're going to work on the edging, which means we are having one single crochet into every of the stitches. So just doing finishing. So into every of the stitches, you're going to go one single crochet round. So chain 1. Into where you have your chain of 4, you're going to make 3 single crochets. So into your chain of 4, you make 3 single crochet. Then into your V stitch, going with a single crochet. Into your chain of 4 again, you're going with 3 single crochet. Into the V stitch, going with a single crochet. Into the double crochet, 1 single crochet. Into the tiny loop, 1 single crochet. So you go in that way around until you are back to the beginning point again. Into the tiny loop, 1 single crochet. Into the double crochet, 1 single crochet. Into the tiny loop, 1 single crochet. Into the double crochet, 1 single crochet. I'm back to the beginning point, so I'm going to slip stitch, chain 2, then cut. So now I'm going to work on this part. So I'm going to make a long strap. Is a 2-strand yarn, but I'm going to double it to 4. So I'm going to insert my hook to the next slip stitch, then begin a long chain. I'll make a long chain long enough to crisscross at the back. I'm not counting. I'm just going to make a very long chain. I'm done with this 2 strap. So now I'm going to crisscross. So I'm going to begin from the point where you stopped increasing, which is here. You can see the curvy part, and from here start going straight. So I'm going to start from this point where I stopped increasing. Then you can tie. So now this is done. So our romper is ready. So this is 30.5 inches as the total length of our romper. So we have the 30 inches as the total length. For the hip points, this is 35 inches, which is 17.5 inches, and can stretch to 41 inches, which is 20.5 inches. And for the waist, this is 25 inches, which is 12.5 inches. So now we have our halter neck romper. Thank you for watching to the end. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next class. Bye.